What's up? I get a little better light. What's going on, people? Eagle Eye just provided the best news of the day. I was just talking with Tracy about Musa getting released. That's the best news that I can hear today. Thank you for
Definitely.
joining in. What's up, Courtney? What's up, Bomb? Thank you guys for joining in. Get a couple minutes, let other people come in. Hope everybody has had a good Thanksgiving weekend. I'll come Jules in just a second. Think she's trying to come on. It says you're not connected, Jules, for some reason. What's up, Lori? Might have to open up in Chrome. Hang on just a second.
Hi, Courtney.
What's up, Court? Thank you for joining in. So I have. Hope everybody had a good Thanksgiving weekend, by the way. I ate lots of food and watched some football and what's up, Jess? And worked a lot. So that was pretty much my week last week.
Hey, Hills.
I'm back. I don't know. Like I said earlier, I've got pretty good Wi-Fi, but for some reason, when I'm on my laptop, it goes in and out. What's up, Jules?
Hi.
Hi,
What up?
Jules.
Hi, honey.
What's up?
Sorry, I'm heading out the door, so I was like, shit.
Now
I
you're
got
good.
you got your PP mask shirt on, Jules.
Yep, and my mask.
I have my shirt on too.
Holla.
I don't have a PP mask shirt on. I just got a regular shirt.
Wow, Christopher.
We got to represent PP mask.
I'm definitely odd. I'll say that much.
Absolutely. I literally wear my leggings. I have like leggings and the joggers and the hoodie and the mask, obviously. So, and I just got my Courtney hoodie. So I'm freaking excited. I'm waiting for that.
All you need is just like no high school bullshit t-shirt.
I do.
That's all you need.
Send
Good
me,
plug, by the way.
you got to send me one.
Okay, well,
as my reward for my coming on.
yes, I
I'm
appreciate
just,
you. I know it's
I'm just
freezing
waiting
cold
for
outside.
mine. Oh,
It
it is
is.
cold. It's freezing
It's,
here.
it's been like 28 degrees, 36 degrees. Like, oh, that's some high school bullshit. I'm over that.
I couldn't handle it. I lived in Oklahoma for several years, as some of you know, and I got sick of the ice and snow. Y'all
Yeah, right.
had the 50 degrees down here, and I'm still freezing. My blood has thinned out over the years, but it's still cold.
Yeah, right.
I couldn't handle it. So we got
Yeah, it's
Tracy
34
online.
right now.
What's up?
Let's see.
It's 34 here right now.
Oh, I love
34.
you too, Courtney.
So you're in
Hi,
Massachusetts?
Matt.
Yes.
Okay. How long have you lived there?
All my life.
All your life? So
Yeah.
you live either a big Patriots fan or not big into
Oh,
football?
absolutely. Pats all the way.
Okay, we got your old quarterback, so I'm happy about that. He's gonna hopefully lead us to another Super Bowl.
I think we're making it to the Super Bowl this year.
Oh, the Pats are looking pretty good too. They got Mac Jones. I'm a huge Alabama fan. He's your quarterback, so
Yeah, he's
it's pretty good
great.
for you guys. So let me introduce yourself. How long have you been involved in the community and whatnot? While we're getting started.
Me for about 5 months now. I was introduced by my daughter, who is she's actually a mod for PP Mass.
Okay.
And she's very involved with PP Mass. And then I was introduced to Jay. He's been to my house twice. And then, of course, Jules. Me and Jules haven't met in person yet. We plan on it.
Absolutely. We will be.
But we even got my mother, who's 88 years old. She calls Jay her grandson. We had him down for his birthday and had a birthday cake for him.
Yeah.
So anytime she hears him when I'm on the computer or something, she'll say, "Is that my grandson?"
That's awesome that she's supporting you guys as well. I've seen a picture of her and Jay. That's awesome of him to take a picture with her or not.
That was his birthday when he was with Jay.
That's good for her, just to give her something to feel happy about, to get excited about seeing somebody and being a part of something.
Yeah, she does. She gets excited. It's funny. Like I said, she's 88 and she's pretty with it. She has slight dementia, but if you say anything about PP Mass or Jay, she knows exactly who I'm talking about.
Oh, that's awesome that she's able to remember him.
Yeah, she does.
Yeah. So you said that she's got dementia. How long has she been having those issues?
I've had her for 2 years now. I've had her living with me and my husband, but it's a very slow progressing. So she's actually been doing quite well. She has her days where she forgets a lot, but then there's days where she's like so on top.
Mm-hmm. That must be hard on you though, because days that she's good, you feel like okay, maybe you turn the corner or whatnot, but then she goes back and
it's definitely not easy seeing your mother go from what she was to what it is now. But she's still, for 88, she's got a lot of life in her.
That's good to have. She's able to be mobile. She's able to drive or anything, or she just
No, we just stopped her from driving 2 years ago. We decided enough was enough because she had an accident. So we just didn't, want anything happening to her or anybody else. But otherwise, she gets around very well with a cane.
Well, that's good. It's like I said, she's 88 and still very active. I know some people that are younger that aren't active that just sit around and play the woe is me card. It's good that she is getting around. So I know you've been involved in the community and you've been introduced to Jay and whatnot. How did you come across it? You said you have a daughter that's active on PP Mass?
Yeah,
I
my
went in and
daughter.
out. I didn't catch everything, so I apologize.
Oh, my daughter has been watching PP Mass from the beginning.
Okay.
And every time I would talk to her or something, I'd be like, "What you doing?" And she'd say, "Oh, I'm watching PP Mass. He's got to catch here. He's got to catch there. Oh, he's going to come to our town," which he actually did come to our town at one time. So I just got interested and started watching him, and I haven't stopped.
Okay. Well, I'm glad that you're a part of it. Um, See, Nat mentioned the comment. My mom was at my grandma's house to help her out, so she's now 102. Yeah, that's awesome that you're able to take her in. It's something else watching, like you said earlier, to watch your parents grow up and have something that you can't control. That's probably got to be the most helpless feeling, knowing that it's your
Yes,
mother and
it
there's
is.
nothing that you can do about it.
It's very hard, but I wouldn't have it any other way. She's my mom. She took care of me, and I'm going to take care of her.
Yeah, that's what this family is all about, especially this time of year, just helping out somebody, especially your mother who's going through some things. Now, describe your childhood. I know you were going to talk a little about your story and whatnot, and you can talk about whatever you want, and you
Okay.
can elaborate. The floor is yours, pretty much. I'll chime in. I'm sure Jules will have some questions to ask when she's not doing what she needs to do. But you're, like I said, the floor is yours. You're able to talk as much as you want, and I want you to be comfortable as possible. So if you want to go ahead and describe your background and whatnot, you feel free.
I came from a really good family. My mom and dad. I was my dad's baby because I was the youngest of five, and he was great with me. He was absolutely. I was daddy's girl, so there was nothing I couldn't or didn't have. He was awesome to me. All my siblings are a lot older than me. Um, I have a 70-year-old brother, and I'm 49, so they're a lot older than me. I lost a sister um, in 2011 to breast cancer. I also lost my dad when I was 19. He died of cancer. And so it's basically been me and my mom who stayed close, who have been close. We've had our times where things were rough. All right, so I'll get into the abuse. This is the hard stuff.
You're fine. We're here to support you. Like I said, you can
You
talk.
got, you
Oh,
got this.
we're here.
Uh, I was about 11 years old and I babysat for a couple. And I was staying over their house that night. And they were extremely trusted from my family because I'd been taking care of their kids for a while. Now, I know 11 seems a little young, but back then it wasn't really so many years ago. And they came home from going out, and I was lying on the couch. The lady proceeded to go to bed, and I was awake, so I was talking to the husband a little bit. We were chitting and chatting. And he was saying, "Oh, how were the kids tonight? And what'd you guys do?" And I told him and stuff, and they were intoxicated. And he proceeded to touch me, and I was supposed to be spending the night. And at that point, I couldn't deal with it. I knew it was wrong. So I said, I don't feel good. I need to call my dad to come get me. So I called my dad to come get me, and he came and got me. Well, I never told anyone. I was scared. I didn't make it known. I just kept it in. And after so many years, it kind of went, it's like I forgot about it. I just
Mhm.
let it go. I put it in my subconscious. And I think that's because I didn't want to remember it. And then the next time that something abuse happened was I was 14 years old and I was in high school and I wasn't like the popular girl. I had a lot of friends, but you know, I wasn't the cheerleader or everybody had cliques and I didn't like stick to one clique. I like kind of was friends with everybody and I liked this older guy. He had already graduated. I was a sophomore. And I pretended to be sick. So I got to stay home from school.
Mhm.
My mom went to work. And he came over because he worked third shift. He came over after he got out of work. And I thought we were just going to chill, watch TV, you know, cuddle, things that teenagers do, maybe kiss and stuff like that. And I went to the bathroom. I said I'd be right back. And when I came out, he had his thing hanging out. And I'm like, what is going on?
Mhm.
And he said, you're gonna suck it. And I said, no, I'm not. And he pushed my head towards it and made me perform oral sex on it.
Mm.
And of course, I didn't tell my mom because I was supposed to be sick and not having anybody over.
Mhm.
I told a couple of my girlfriends and things like that. I confided in them. And I had some people that believed me and some people that didn't. The thing that was worse about it was when I went back to school, he went and told people that, oh, she, you know, did this with me. So, like, all these guys thought that that's all that I was about. And I wasn't. So I, you know, kind of got a bad name.
Mhm.
And that was hard. And then the bullying started and stuff and things like that with people saying a whole bunch of crap. And it was really hard because I trusted this person. And I think that's the worst thing is because most of us that have been in these situations have trusted the people that it's happened to, you know,
Mhm.
that have done this to us.
Yeah.
Makes it easier for them to victimize us. That's why.
Yeah, because they know them.
Yep.
And then life went on. Um, I got married when I was 21. I had 2 kids. And I swore if anyone ever touched my children, I'd kill them. I mean, I was Miss Overprotective, totally overprotective. My kids were just, nobody touches my kids.
Mhm.
And then years went on, and I ended up having a lot of abuse in the relationship. First, it was verbal, then it became physical. So I ended up filing for a divorce because things got so bad. I got tired of lying to my children why mom had a black eye and things like that. Or I have a mark on my face or something. And I always would make up, oh, I hit my face on the cabinet when I opened the door. It was always, something stupid, but I would just come up with an answer because I didn't want the kids to know. Then that's when the third time happened. One of my children was at my mother's house for the evening, and me and the other one were at home. And we were sleeping in the living room. And I heard the door open. So I jumped up. I'm like, what the hell's going on? So there was a man there. And he told me to be quiet and go to my room. And of course, I did what he said because my child was there and I didn't want anything to happen to my child.
Mm-hmm.
Or rather, don't hurt my child, hurt me. So I went to my room and I woke up. I was choked till I blacked out. And when I woke up, I was on my stomach on my bed. And I had been assaulted and sodomized. But the person wasn't there any longer. So the first thing I thought was go check on my child.
Mm-hmm.
And I did that to make sure that my child was okay. And they were perfectly fine. And I was so scared that I automatically went into the bathroom and took a shower. I just felt so disgusted. And then it was a long night after that. I ended up calling one of my friends and told her what happened, and she proceeded to call my family. So, and I didn't know this, so I'm sitting at my house and everyone's showing up. And then they made me go to the emergency room. I had the whole rape kit, everything, all that done, which that is the most humiliating thing that I've ever been through. And the person never was caught.
Does he look like he's fast forwarding to you?
Hold on.
I was like, what is going on?
Hold on.
Okay. So the guy was never caught, Tracy?
No, never.
And how old were you when this happened again?
That I was in my early 30s.
Wow. So messed up.
But I didn't have a lot of support from the police either. They weren't the greatest.
Right.
I mean,
So
they treated me more like the bad person,
Like a suspect, yeah. Like you did something wrong.
and it just sucked because that's when I lost all respect for them because they didn't do shit for me.
did they who had done it to you, or
What was
how far
that?
did the investigation? I said, how far did the investigation go? Did they look into it at all, or did
They looked,
they?
they looked into it. They took my items from my bed. They took my clothes. They found DNA, but it wasn't in the system. So whomever did it didn't, ever have to give a DNA sample.
That'd be the first
So
thing that they would look for to get somebody's DNA. You would think.
yeah, and they just treated me like total shit. And I actually, at one point, asked to have another officer because there was one assigned to my case. And I asked, you know, I want someone different. I can't deal with this person. And actually, the person that I was dealing with was a female, and she just seemed to have no heart. She was very cold to me and didn't seem to care less. And no one's ever been charged, found, or anything.
So there's no suspects, nothing for them to go on. That
Nope,
was pretty much the end of it.
that was pretty much the end of it.
Do you have any? Do you personally have any ideas on who it might be?
Yeah, I do. And when I brought that up to them, they said they would speak to this person. And when I called to check and see what had become of that, they told me that they would not give a DNA sample and it was their right to deny.
That just means you're guilty, then, in my opinion. If you're
That's
not willing,
that's what I said. I said, then
Yeah.
doesn't that show you something? That this
Yep.
person said, no, it's my judicial right not to give a DNA sample, and they would not push it.
Right.
They would not
Yeah.
push it at all.
That's so messed up.
So
So
now
some stuff is.
it's so many years later that it's just, I mean,
Did you ever look up like the statute of limitations or anything, or no?
it's over.
Is it?
Yeah.
That sucks. That's so dumb.
Yeah, it's over.
especially on
I
a
did,
sex, I didn't mean to interrupt you. Especially on a sex crime, you would think there would be no
Right.
statute of limitation.
That's yeah. I was gonna say that's exactly how I feel. If it's a sexual assault or any type of sexual abuse, I feel like that should just be open. You know what I'm saying? Like, God forbid if it's 30 years from now, 50 years from now, and you happen to find out. I mean, this person could have been committing these offenses the entire time. You know what I'm saying? Like, just it's sickening. Like the laws absolutely fucking suck. Like they're terrible.
And that's
I,
what I don't understand about when some victims, it takes them years for them to come over or come forward and say what happened to them. And then you got some people saying, well, it took you this long. Why didn't you come out whenever it happened? It's like you don't know what that person was going through that whole time period. You don't know
it's
what the courage, the courage it took for that person to say, hey, this is what happened to me.
Even just like telling your story to someone you know it's huge. It's so hard. It's like, I mean, a lot of people who haven't been through it just don't they don't get it. They don't understand. You know
not
what
at
I'm saying?
all.
So it's like I mean, your heart's racing the entire time. You know what I mean? You're missing pieces. It's overwhelming, and it's truly exhausting, like exhausting. And so it's like when they say that stuff to you, it's almost invalidating in a way,
Mhm.
like why didn't you say this earlier? Really? Because it took me a long time to admit it to myself. What do you mean?
Yeah.
Exactly. You don't want to admit that these horrible things happen to you. You I mean, I didn't want to. I wanted to put it in the back of my mind. I wanted to forget it, but then years later I get diagnosed with anxiety and panic disorder, and now I know why the hell I have it.
It's because of all those years of abuse. Now, with the other gentleman, did anybody ever prosecute them, or was there any investigation?
No, I never told my parents about what happened.
Hmm.
So your mom still doesn't know?
No.
No. I mean, it would break her now, I feel like. You
Oh,
know what I mean?
exactly.
But I was just
So
curious if you ever told her.
there's very few people that know.
I had no
Very,
idea until you had asked me to come on with you. I was like, wait, what? I was like,
yeah,
you know,
not many
I
people
mean,
that know
right.
because I was embarrassed.
Yeah, and unfortunately, embarrassment is a huge piece in your sexual assault. Like, it's like people don't get it. They're like, why be embarrassed? It's like, even if there is so many people out there that has gone through it, you're still going to fight the embarrassment. You know what I mean? It's going
It,
to take an awful lot of strength to face it yourself. Never mind talk about it to someone else. So
and it's still, I mean, my husband is a great support. He knows everything. I
good.
did remarry, and he's a great guy.
That's
Good for
awesome.
you. That makes
But
me happy.
it's still, I mean, it's there. It's never going to go away.
No.
That's why I hate when I watch these videos and these people alluring on our children
Hmm.
and they don't do shit to them.
Nothing. That's why we were saying we literally need to go, and whether it's protesting or start emailing and writing, but we need to do something because there are so many kids and adults out there suffering, in silence. Like they
It's
don't have
horrible.
the
And
voice.
right. And now I'm a grandmother. So it's
Right.
like,
You got grandchildren to worry about now.
yeah, I mean, it's horrible. I worry all the time, not only about my girls. It used to be my girls I worried about most. But now, since I became part of this community, I see that it's a lot of boys too.
Hmm.
And
Unfortunately.
it's like, oh my God. The communities help me actually come forward with my story
Oh,
because I
good.
guess I never felt like I could.
Right. It's almost like you need permission,
I always felt
you know?
ashamed
Yeah.
and embarrassed. I mean, and dirty. You
Yeah.
just, you still feel dirty.
Now, did you go talk to anybody? Did you have any counseling over the years
I've been
since the
going to,
assault?
yes, I've been doing counseling for years, for many years. And I just actually, since I've taken my mom in, I still see a therapist to get my anxiety meds and stuff, but I
Hmm.
don't go. Um, I decided not to do counseling anymore because I'm busy a lot with my mom, and I'm so tired of repeating the same stories over and over and over again.
Yeah.
Because that's what it is.
Right. I mean, and it sounds almost like it's useless, like it does nothing. But in all actuality, it's like the more and more you tell your story, like I was telling John the same thing, the more and more you tell your story, the lighter you feel. You know what I'm saying? You're allowing somebody else to carry that weight with you, you know, if that makes sense.
Mm-hmm.
It's like the burden is no longer just yours. Like people who care about you are willing to carry that weight for you, your therapist, and just want to be able to help for you to be able to move forward, you know? So, because that's the biggest piece. It's really hard to not be stuck in that time in your head, you know what I mean? And it could be a smell, it could be, you know, the taste of anything, you know, could just trigger a huge panic attack and a flashback, and make you feel genuinely useless and unsafe, you know. I go through it
I
often
agree.
where I won't leave my house for like a week. I won't, like, my boys literally suffer sometimes because they're like, can we go outside? It's like, we're not going outside. Like, we'll do Legos and whatever, but
Mm-hmm.
it's like, I have to get past it. You know what I mean? So
Right.
my anxiety meds don't always help. It's like, I need
Oh,
to talk. I need to get it out. I need to, you know, it sucks because it is such a heavy, heavy weight to carry, you know, and especially by yourself. So, like, you being willing to come and talk on Chris's show is like a huge deal. It's going to be a big step for you, you know, it's now making it lighter for you.
Exactly. And know that you're not alone. You have other people that are supporting you. Like she said, it makes you feel a lot better. You know, the fear is if you open up to somebody or if you talk to somebody, they're going to think this about you or they're going to think less of you. And that's why you keep it bottled up. But the reality is, like she was talking about, it makes you feel so much better once you get it out. Over years of having things bottled up, the anger, the resentment, the hatred that you have towards yourself.
Right.
Because that's more than anything. Like you have the self doubt, you have the fear, you have the anger towards yourself more than
Right.
anybody else. And it's good to
and
let
that's
other
what
people in.
it's been that way with me. I've never been a fan of me.
Right. Sometimes you got to be your own cheerleader, you know, it's tough. I mean, it is tough to have to cheer
I've always,
yourself on, and, you know, and especially when you are feeling that so alone, you know what I mean? But we're all literally cheering for you and definitely here for you. So anytime you ever
thank
just
you.
need to talk or feel stuck in that moment, like, you can always message me, you know that.
Thanks, Jules. That means a lot.
You're
Did
welcome.
you resort to anything to help cope with the pain over the years? I know you said you take medication, but was there any other? Did you have alcohol issues or anything like
Yeah.
that to help cope
As a
with the pain?
as a teenager, that's all I did was drink. Drink, 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 drink. I did
Yep.
a lot of uh, as a teenager, I did a lot of drinking. But once I had children and stuff, that like all stopped.
Mm-hmm. Good for you.
Knowing that you had
Because
somebody else to look after, did that help you
right,
stop?
definitely, my children are the best things my children and grandchildren are the best things that ever happened to me.
Now, did you tell them your story as to help prevent them from not making the mistakes, but just to
They
help
know
them be aware?
some of it, not not all of it.
That's, I can only imagine
I love
how
it.
the courage that it took just to tell them what happened to you.
It was hard. It was hard, but I have the support of one of them. One doesn't support me at all. One does.
Well, I'm sorry to hear
So,
about that one that doesn't. Life is short. It's too short to hold grudges. And I don't know what the issue is or whatnot, but they should be able to support you no matter what, especially in situations like this.
yeah. I just think that the one that doesn't is still very immature and needs to grow a lot.
Mm-hmm.
But like I said, I feel a lot better that now that I have people I can relate with, like the community,
It's
because
good.
I don't think I would ever have told my story.
Yeah. What's good? I know you were stressing out about it until coming on. You feel a lot better now that you're able to. It's done.
Yeah,
It's over with. You talked about what happened.
yeah, the nauseousness and the butterflies and everything seem to have subsided. So I do feel better. I definitely do feel better. And I'm glad Jules was here for support.
Absolutely.
I
I
She's
thank
wouldn't
her.
miss it for the world. I was gonna say, even though I was doing stuff, I just put you on my earbud and continued to do what I had to do while I was listening.
Yeah.
I
And
wouldn't
she's
miss it for the world.
she's an awesome supporter. She's doing her thing, and as I was on with her a couple of weeks ago, I could relate to how you feel of getting stuff out that you've had bottled up for years, and being able just not care and just let stuff out. Like I said, it's so relieving not to have that pent up whatever issues that you got going on the inside, and that's what we're here for.
Absolutely.
and I appreciate that. And I'm so glad that I found the community because now I see that there are a lot of other people out there who have
There
gone
really
through
is.
the same
Yeah.
thing. And there's a lot of people that have gone through a hell of a lot worse.
Mm-hmm.
Hmm.
You'd be surprised. Like you
Yeah,
never
I
know
would.
what other people are going through. That's especially on YouTube or on the internet in general. That's why
Right.
it's always you got to keep that in the back of your head. The person that you're talking to may have had issues with the same thing that you had or other things. It's not necessarily just sexual assault in this
Hmm.
community. There's a lot of other things that people are dealing with.
But I definitely thank you guys for listening to me.
No
Oh,
problem. If you
anytime.
if there's any questions for Tracy, y'all are more than welcome to ask. We'll get a few more minutes. I know she's got her mother that she's looking after right now, so I want to be mindful of her time. So, have you tried to encourage other people besides your family members just to say, "Hey, this is what happened to me," and hopefully be an encouragement to them?
I mean, I would support anyone who's ever been through this. But it, I mean, no one in my family has been through it. So I'm so thankful for that.
Mm-hmm.
That is, you know, that I'm the only one that's been through it.
Definitely not something that you want to share, like, have everybody go through the same experiences,
Right. And like I said, I was so overprotective of my children. I would rather have them have 15 friends over and have fun at the house than my kids go over someone else's house.
Yep. I've
Because
done
then
that same person.
I could keep an eye on them and I knew where they were at all times.
Mhm.
And that's just, and still, my kids are adults now. They have children of their own. They're married. And I still, you know, they'll always be my babies. I'll always worry. And it's even worse now that I have grandkids. It's like I've
Right.
I've been a grandmother since I was 38.
Yeah. Wow.
And I'm 49 now, and it's just like it's even more.
They're coming of that age where you gotta be even more careful, because it's not like when I was a kid, you can't just let them go outside and play and do whatever.
No, you can't. You can't. It's ridiculous. I mean, when I was a kid, we used to stay out till who knows what time, hanging out, playing tag, doing the thing, having a good old time. And now I cringe if I talk to one of my kids and they say, "Oh, they're outside playing." I'm like, "You keeping an eye on them, right?"
Right. Like, I need to know what they're doing at all times.
Exactly. It's like I'm just so overprotective.
Yep. You have to be. Unfortunately, these days, like, you really have to be. It's such a shame, because it's like, I remember like being able to be outside riding my bikes until my mom yelled when the street lights came on. You know what I'm saying? We had no fear. Like, no fear. It was around, obviously it was a thing then, but it was not. I feel like they just gotten so bold, I guess would be a word, that like they're all like, oh, let me, making it more prevalent. It's ridiculous.
Especially with the access to internet now.
Exactly.
Easy to get on your phone.
Even more in the schools. You see all these teachers.
That are getting arrested for,
that are touching our children.
Yep.
And like, when I went to school, I wasn't scared of that.
Right. I wasn't.
I wasn't scared of that at all.
That's the worst of the worst. That's the worst of the worst, in my opinion. You've got children that you're to care for, and you're doing that to them. Their parents are. Go ahead.
We trust them with our children.
Yeah.
Exactly. That's the worst part, is we're entrusting our children to be with them all day. Like I said, I would be back in jail. I would walk myself in this time and be like, yes, that was me. And like, no.
I'm there with you. I'm definitely there with you, because if anyone touched my grandchildren, there would be no questions asked.
Yeah.
One of my daughters went through it, and it was like put on Snapchat. And I mean, we tried to pursue charges and stuff, but after a while, she was tired. She was like, I'm just over it. Like, she stopped hanging out with that crowd. She stayed home for, months on end. She didn't want to do anything. She was afraid to even go to parties. Like,
definitely.
I mean, it literally took for her to go to the bathroom and then slip something in her drink. My other daughter saw it on Snapchat and was like, freaked the frig out. Like, freaked out. She was like, did you see Hales on Snapchat? And I was like, oh God, what'd she post? Thinking it was her posting something. And no, like, she's like, she was so lethargic, Mom. The way they flopped her around, I fucking threw up. I was like, oh my God.
That's insane.
I was like,
horrible.
It really is. It's insane. Like, it just sucks. We shouldn't have to fear for our kids, like that at all.
No, we shouldn't. Kids should be able to be kids. And unfortunately, these days, 100%. It sucks.
It really does.
That's especially at that age, they're just discovering themselves and who they are and whatnot. They shouldn't have to worry about some creep preying on them, or somebody that are their teacher that they're supposed to trust. They're supposed to look up to, preying on them. That shouldn't be the case.
No, exactly. Not at all.
And I always told my children, do not allow, if anybody touches you, you
Mm-hmm.
need to let mommy know.
Yep.
Mhm.
Oh, I tell the boys all the time, I'm like, that's your private area. If anybody ever
Exactly.
touches you there or on your butt, you better let me know because we got a
Exactly.
problem.
Exactly. And I've done the same with my grandchildren. I'm like,
Right.
nobody touches there.
Yep.
That is, totally off limits.
Yep.
So it's just a sad world we live in. It
It
Yeah.
really
really
is.
is. Very much
Yeah.
so.
And of course, kids, they don't understand. They won't understand until they get older.
Right.
That you're really just trying to protect them.
Exactly. And
Good job, Bill.
you don't want to go in too deep with them either, because you don't know, you don't want to say too much to them when they're young.
Mhm.
Right.
Yeah, Hill said that she's got 2 younger daughters that she's protective of. I don't blame you one bit for being
Nope.
protective of your children, especially in this day and age.
Exactly.
Yep.
Kids are too precious. They don't deserve this.
Hi, Locksmith.
That's Nat said that she used to walk to school in kindergarten, and then she was able to play it late at night when she was 10 and 12. Like that's
Oh,
how it
I
was
did
back in the
too.
day.
We used to walk to the mall or the
Mm-hmm.
movie theater and go to the movie theater with our friends at 12 and 13.
Mm-hmm.
Now,
Yep.
I don't think that, that should be happening.
Yeah,
Right.
I used
No,
to. I remember walking to the movie store back in the day. Back kids these days don't know what a movie store is, but just go get a game or a movie or the gas station to get something to eat. You
Right.
can't do that nowadays. But
And it makes me cringe now when I see kids walking down the street alone. I'm like,
oh,
how the
God.
heck can these
Yeah,
parents?
I'm like, where are your parents?
Exactly. It just makes me cringe when I see a child walking alone, or even two little girls. I don't even think that's,
No, I'm
appropriate.
like, no, all that stuff bothers me too. It's like, I don't understand. I just don't get it. And it sucks because it's like how, some of these parents are just so like, okay with letting their kids do. I mean, I've seen like a 4-year-old boy outside playing at my apartment complex. I'm just like, my God.
Exactly.
I mean,
And
anybody could snatch him up and do whatever, leave him on the side. Like, you wouldn't even know. Like,
right.
so it's like anytime I see that, I got my butt right outside. I just can't, I sit outside. I feel bad. It's like, I don't know.
yeah, you don't know what's going on with the parents' mind just to let them go out there and not even check up on them to see what they're doing. Or
Yeah, exactly. And
it's
that's
crazy.
the other thing. It's, like, why are you guys not out here? I mean, he's been outside for like, 45 minutes or whatever, and he'll run back inside, but it's like, I don't know. It like makes my stomach curl. It's ridiculous.
Yep.
All it
Does.
takes is a second. Just like if you go to Walmart and have the kids completely by themselves. Like back when we were kids, we could do that. But in this day and age, all it takes is a second and they are snatched up and they got a van waiting for them. It's
Yeah,
crazy.
it is. It's
Mhm.
crazy that we have to live in such fear.
Yeah.
So I thank you for coming on. I know it's almost that time. When I said usually about an hour, I usually like to do the interviews. Is there any last words that you'd like to say or anything like that while we close things
Yes.
up?
Watch your kids, monitor their devices. That's all you can do. Keep them safe.
Mm-hmm.
If you can, keep them off the internet if you can. But
Yeah.
if you allow them on the internet, monitor those devices. Have parental controls,
Right. I
because
agree.
you never know what can happen.
You even got to monitor the parental controls.
Yeah.
They know a way around it now.
Yep. My boys try to ask me for my password and stuff all the time. I'm like, no.
Oh, I've had my grandkids do that too. They'll be like,
Yeah,
Hannah,
like,
what's your password? I'm like, I don't think so.
yeah, exactly. Like, you're
You
not
know?
playing that. You're not playing it online. Like, if you want to play it, offline, you and your brother, that's one thing. But
Hmm.
no,
It's just a scary world we live in, like I said. And
I agree, Dead Twist. That's exactly what it is. We definitely grew up in closer knit communities for sure.
oh, absolutely.
Yeah. Like it was somebody
Definitely.
else's parents that would catch you. Like if you're doing something wrong, somebody else's parents would tell on you. Say
Oh,
this
all
is
the time.
yeah.
Exactly.
My mother knew things I did outside
Mm-hmm.
that she wasn't
All
supposed to know.
right. Exactly.
It's because the mom next door called her and said, "Oh, Tracy did this," and I'd be like,
Yep.
"How the hell did mom find that out?" And then
Right.
oh, this one's mom seen us doing that, and
Yeah.
Yeah.
Couldn't get away with nothing.
Like, damn, they snitched me out again.
mm-hmm. But that's how it was. I
Yeah.
mean,
It was
all
good.
the parents looked out for every, we were all their kids,
Yeah, exactly.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
and that's how it was. And now it's not like that.
No, it's too much. People got a lot going on as it is, and especially with people that have children that in situations that maybe they shouldn't have had children, and they don't know how to
Exactly.
cope with it. And so
Right.
they just, pawn them off or leave them outside or whatnot, and
Yep.
so they don't have to deal with them. It's sad.
It
It really
is.
is.
It's very sad.
So thank you, ladies, for coming on. Jules, you got anything going on? I know you've been doing some interviews
More,
as well.
more cleaning and more laundry.
Okay.
Ever since the boys have been home for Thanksgiving, my house is like, you don't even want to know.
The whole disaster area.
Exactly. It looks like every room in the house became their bedroom, their play area. Like, it's an entire tornado, like a whole scene.
And you mentioned Chris Moose is getting out, right?
Yes,
Yes, he is.
yeah, that was somebody just mentioned that to me whenever we were just coming on that Moose is being released today. So that's the best news of the day. For
That
those that
is.
didn't know, Moose
That's
is being
great.
released today. So that's
Yes,
awesome.
Luca.
If he's on later on today, everybody that's on here, go jump on his stream, please,
Oh,
and show him
I'll
some
be
love.
there.
Yeah, show him some love and support. I'm sure he's going to be spending time with his family and whatnot, but
Oh, I'm
Oh,
sure.
absolutely.
support him because
Yep.
he's gone through a lot over the past week and a half, and I wouldn't wish that on anybody, especially during the holidays. So
Oh no,
No.
not at
And
all.
that's the worst, especially for some crap charge. Like,
yeah,
That was ridiculous. Totally ridiculous.
yeah,
no way. Nobody should be alone for Thanksgiving, especially under those circumstances when he did absolutely nothing wrong.
right. Yep.
No.
That's the main thing. The main thing, Chris. The
Keep
main
the main
thing.
thing, the main thing. All right. Well, thank you, Tracy, for coming on. Everybody's been supporting you in the comments. You've got a community that's supporting you as well, so it's awesome that you're able to share your story, and it takes a lot of courage. You're a warrior.
And Dead Twist
Thank
said,
you.
just know you can reach out to any one of us at any time, and he's right. So
Thank you. I
Absolutely.
appreciate that.
We're all here for
Thank
you,
you,
so
guys.
no problem.
you're
Have a
welcome.
good rest of
Thank
your
you
day.
for sharing. Bye,
Thanks,
Chris.
everyone.
Bye.
Bye.
All right. Thank you guys for showing up. I appreciate every one of you guys for joining the stream. Thank you, Twist. Thank you, Hills. Thank you, Nats. I'm trying to scroll up here and see who else commented on here. I know there's been some others. Oh, anybody else that I forgot to mention? I won't let me scroll up real fast. Anybody else that I forgot to mention? Much love to you guys. You guys are awesome. Like I said, if Moose is on later on today, go flood his stream with lots of love. I appreciate all you guys for your support, and you guys have a good rest of your day. I'll talk to you guys later.